Hey everyone, today we're going to be learning how to divide whole numbers by fractions and fractions by whole numbers within word problems. Let's see. We're first going to ask ourselves always, what am I splitting up? So we know we're going to be dividing, that's what we're going to be doing all day. But the question is, the word problem, what are we actually splitting up? So in that first line under guided learning where it says ask yourself, put what am I splitting up? This will help you determine which number is going to go first, the whole number or the fraction. Ask yourself this question before starting every problem. So let's look at guided learning A. Brody has 3 pounds of cake. He gives each of his friends half of a pound of cake. How many friends can he give half of a pound of cake to? So we see we have 3 pounds of cake and each friend's getting half of a pound. So we need to ask ourselves, what am I splitting up? Are you splitting up the 3 pounds of cake? Or are you splitting up the half a pound that you're going to give to each friend? We notice that we're going to be splitting up the 3 pounds of cake. It's not just because it was first, it's because that's the actual item that we're going to be distributing. So we know we're splitting up 3 pounds of cake, so that's what's going to go first. We're giving each person the same amount, so we're dividing, and each friend is going to get half of a pound. So we can do this by knowing that we have 3 pounds of cake. So we're going to start with 3 pounds. And we're going to be giving each person half of a pound. So we're going to split each whole into half. So now we're going to count how many people can get a piece of cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means 6 people or 6 friends can get half a pound of cake. Another thing that you can use to help you is it says here, how many friends? Well, we can't have a fraction of a friend. We can't say 1/6 of a friend is going to have cake. That wouldn't make sense. 6 friends are going to get a piece of cake. Let's try the next one. Demetrius has 1/3 of a pan of brownies. He evenly splits the pan of brownies, or the pan, and places the brownies onto 2 plates. What fraction of brownies will be on each plate? So now we need to determine, are we splitting up the third of a pan of brownies, or are we splitting up the 2 plates? In this problem, we're going to be splitting up the third of a pan of brownies. We're putting them onto 2 plates, and we're trying to see what fraction of the brownies will be on each plate. We know our answer is going to be in a fraction. So we're starting with a third of a pan of brownies. We're putting these slices onto 2 plates. We want to figure out how much is going to go on each plate. So if we're starting with 1/3, we're going to start by drawing 1/3, shade in one portion of those 3. And now we're going to be splitting it between 2 plates or 2 groups. We're going to split this into 2. We can see that on each plate, we're going to be putting 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1/6 of the pan of brownies is going to go onto each plate. So if we had plate A and plate B, plate A will get 1/6 and plate B will get 1/6. This helps answer the question, what fraction of the brownies will be on each plate? Our answer is on in a fraction. Let's try guided learning C. Justin has 3 chocolate pies that he cuts evenly into 1/4 size pieces. How many people can Justin give chocolate pies to? So ask yourself, what am I splitting up? Am I splitting up the chocolate pies or am I splitting up the 1/4 size pieces? Well, we know that we're trying to figure out how many people can Justin give chocolate pies to. So we can't have a fraction of a person. We can't say we're going to give 1/12 we're going to give it to 1/12 people. That doesn't make sense. So we need to know that we're answering as a whole number. So we're going to be splitting up the chocolate pies and giving each person 1/4 of the pie. So we have 3 chocolate pies that we're splitting up. So if we're splitting them up evenly, we're dividing into 1/4 size pieces. So each person is going to get 1/4. So if we're starting with 3, we're going to draw 3 holes. And now we're going to split each hole into 1/4 size pieces. So we're going to cut each hole into 4 parts. All right, let's see how many people we can give 1/4 size pieces to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can give this to 12 people. So that helps answer the question, how many people? 12 people. I'm going to show you a little trick too. So let's see, we use red for this. Notice our starting number was a whole number. and we ended with a whole number. Problem A, and you don't have to write this down, was, what was it? 2 divided by 1/2. Here, let me see, don't see. There we go, 3 divided by 1/2. And we said that our answer was 6. Notice again, we started with a whole number and we ended with a whole number. Problem B said 1/2 divided by 3 is 1/6. Notice here, we started with a fraction and we ended with a fraction. So here, we started with a whole number and we ended with a whole number. Let's see if the strategy works for the next one. Xavian has 1/4 of a can of chicken noodle soup. He evenly shares the rest of the can with 3 friends. What fraction of the can of soup will each friend get? Well, here's a hint. It says, what fraction of the can of soup will each friend get? That means our answer is going to be in a fraction. We need to ask ourselves, are we splitting up the can of chicken noodle soup or are we splitting up the friends? And we know that we're going to be splitting up the can of soup between 3 friends. So we have 1/4 of a can of soup. We're splitting that evenly between 3 friends. So let's start by drawing 1/4. Shade in 1. And now we're splitting that between 3 friends. So let's say that's going to Xavian, Samantha, and Rihanna. Xavian is going to be getting 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces. So each friend is going to be getting 1/12 of the can of soup. Also notice that we started with a fraction and we ended with a fraction. That's one way that you can help check your work, knowing that if we start with a fraction and it's asking for your answer to be a fraction, your answer better be a fraction.